Right, I've set up lobby again. New lobby? Yeah, hop in.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, Ben's in? Did he actually join? Oh, he did! He is here. Okay, there you go. Tiametmarduk's here.
That's another person I'm just being dicked on.
Tiametmarduk hasn't got a teammate yet currently. Oh, he does. XXX. There you go. Alright, Ben, whatever you do, don't beat me. Okay, just clearing that up.
Okay, Raggy, I will try not to beat you as hard as I can. Anyway, here we are, guys. Brand new video. Today we're doing something different. I have wanted to get into this guy's live stream for the longest time for whatever reason, albeit probably career mode videos. Meaning I haven't done it up until this point, but today I am partaking in Rawaggy's Constructors Championship live stream. Basically, I jumped in. The point of this is to grab yourself a teammate and see if you can win the Constructors Championship in a course of 6 races. And yeah, I'm putting complete trust in my teammate not to take me out, carry me to victory maybe, and see how we go. I've always wanted to do a concept like this, and yeah, here we are. We're gonna do it. A little mini championship. Let me know if you think I should do something similar, of course. But before we do that, I want to say a massive shout out to Raggy. Go check him out. I'll leave a link to his Twitch channel down in the description. Honestly, I feel like he's probably the most underrated guy there is in the whole of like YouTube or Twitch scene. I'll be honest, I didn't know who Raggy was before I joined Veloce, but I really enjoy his content, so I'm going to leave a link to his channel down in the description. You guys should go follow him or subscribe to him on Twitch or whatever. Go give him some love because he would really appreciate that. And I think he is trying to go full-time on Twitch, and your support would really help that out for him. Anyway, here we are. First race, Hungarian Grand Prix, is the third race. We're at the Bahrain Grand Prix. I'm commentating this at 1 AM. Give me a break. I've qualified in P5. These are all 5-lap races. They're all decided by a one-shot qualifying lap beforehand in order to set the grid. As you guys know, I'm not great at one-shot qualifying, so this is going to be a bit of a tricky situation for me just checking the rules. Damage is on full, so we need to keep it clean at turn 1, and that is what I am trying to do. So here we go, first race of the season. Mercedes OP. Let's see if we can take Mercedes to another Constructors Championship. Away we go with an absolutely dreadful start. Getting exposed right from the outset here. That was, well, I missed the start because I was looking down at my dash and not at the lights. But there we go. We've dropped from P5 to P10, getting absolutely roughhoused by everyone in this Bahrain Grand Prix. But we will look to fight it out if we can. See if we can find our way back to the points. We got my teammate XXX down in P12. I hope that guy is trustworthy and consistent because we are going to need that. I cannot be doing this alone as we go up the inside of Vegas into turn 7. I'm going to say 7. Let's hope that that's right. Let me know in the comments if I got that right or not. I probably didn't. But anyway, it's P9. We get around him. And now we can set our sights after Beaker, who I have raced before. And he's pretty pacey. So I'm going to have my hands full here trying to get in front of this guy. I believe he's a league racer. So maybe we could just follow him through into the top 5, the podium, whatever it may be. I think the key to this championship is going to be consistency, trying to qualify well, just like in the ranked video I did not yesterday, the day before. Just qualifying well, staying out of trouble, and then results will go your way. I don't know how each race is going to go. I don't have good setups for all of the tracks, I think, so we're just going to have to wing it essentially as we go up the inside of Beaker. I think he was lagging a little bit. That brought me a little bit closer, and now we have him up the inside of turn 1. Get the move done properly out of turn 2, and there we go. P8 now for the taking in this Bahrain Grand Prix. Next up, we have ST8. Oh my goodness, we got an Alpha Tauri gone there in the middle sector. That's another spot for us. P7. Safso is up next. A couple of these guys I do recognize from videos I've done recently in online. And we know that Safso is pretty pacey as well. So You know, this isn't going to be easy. Not by any stretch of the imagination. There are a lot of fast guys in here, so I've got to keep my wits about me as we go up into overtake here on lap 3, heading into lap 4 in the slipstream. Don't have much ERS to play with. Hit 17%. Could we go up the inside? We will go up the inside into turn 1. For a brief moment there, I thought about maybe going around the outside, but just as I was thinking that, he covered that off. And so we got the move done anyway. P6. Can we hold on to it though? Having to go defensive into turn 4, nearly running into the Alfa Romeo. They were braking so early into that corner, but thankfully we managed to negotiate that all fine and hold onto the position. I think top 5. If we can manage top 5 in each of these races, then we should be in with a good shout. Hopefully our teammate can back us up and score some decent points as a number 2 as well. Who knows, he might even carry me in future races, but we'll have to wait and see. A little bit of a shaky middle sector here. Lost the back end once or twice, had a big lockup, and that has halted progress a little bit. But now as we head on to the last lap here, we're going to see if we can get this Alfa Romeo. Don't have much ERS to play with. I'm going to chuck it back up into overtake. He's going very defensive into turn 1. We're going to hold the outside here, and I'm probably going to get squeezed. I do get squeezed all the way off the track, and that's cost us both a bit of time there. Here comes Safzo in the Haas going around the outside of me. He might get the Alfa Romeo as well. I'm going to go around the outside of both of these guys at turn 4. We're getting the big shove left, right, and center from both guys. We've got a time penalty, and then to add insult to injury, I've got an illegal overtake on Safzo, the guy who probably pushed me out in the first place. And so I'm just letting everyone through, trying to recorrect that position. So in the end, it looks like it's going to be P9, unless we can re-overtake Safzo here on this last lap. We do have the ERS into overtake. We do have the DRS open for us as we go around the outside into the 3rd sector now. I've gone in a bit deep, tried to leave a bit of space. We are going to get the move done. As long as we can keep it clean, we will have the inside of this double right-hander. And that is job done just about for now. Not a great exit. And Safzo is going to be all over us now as we head into the last corner, having to go up the middle of the road. He's going to go to the outside, take the racing line, try and get a nice switchback and punchy run up to the line. I don't think it's going to work out for him though, as I got a pretty decent exit there. And we are going to hold P8 on circuit as we cross the line in this Bahrain Grand Prix, but a penalty has set me back down to 9th place. Wow. Not sure what to think of that race. That was not great. That is not Constructors winning material right there. Only 8 points against our name for Mercedes. We have some work to do over the course of the next 5 races. But early doors, it does not look good. Williams leading the way with 27. It looks like a pretty up and down Constructors standing for a lot of the teams. Only one driver really performing for each team. So I guess we're still in the hunt a little bit, but it is still early days. And with equal cars, anything's possible with one-shot qualifying. It's very easy to fudge up a qualifying lap, and you could easily be starting in last place. But we move on to the second race, this being the Italian Grand Prix. It was a wet qualifying. We only just missed out on pole. P2 is where you want to be for the start of the race. Get off to a clean start. It will be dry for the race. So from there, as long as we can get a good start in P2, then we'll be on for some big points. My teammate not qualifying well there, down in P11. He's going to have to move forward in the race. So let's hope he can do so as we gear up for this Italian Grand Prix. Running 1.7 wings, exactly the same setup that I ran in career mode, which led me to victory in that series. And I'm hoping it can do the goods for me here today. So here we go to 5 red lights for the second race of this Constructors Championship campaign. It is lights out. And away we go for the Italian Grand Prix. And again, my starts are absolutely dreadful. It makes me want to punch myself in the face. I know you guys in the comments want to punch me in the face. I want to punch myself in the face myself. Such is the starts. But turn 1 wasn't a good one for us. We got bumped into from behind, and I bumped someone in front. I think it was Chino. And yeah, we just had crap momentum out of turn 1. We got overtaken left, right, and center. So it is P5 on this opening lap of the Italian Grand Prix. I actually have a really good setup for this place, and I'm pretty pacey around here, so I think I can make my way back through. It's just going to be frustrating to lose all this time at the start. As you can see, we fly around the outside of that AlphaTauri, and we're also going to get the racing point into Parabolica as well. Thank you very much. That's P2. Once again, I'm out of ERS allotment at the end of the lap, which is going to put me under pressure on this start-finish straight to Tom. And as soon as you cross the line, start lap 2, we can go back up into overtake and use the rest of our ERS, which we are going to do. 3 wide into turn 1. And let's see if we can hold this. We're kind of late under brakes. We're getting a bit of a shove at turn 1. But we hold on for the time being. My teammate in P5. Lovely stuff there, son. Let's see if you can follow me through and get some good Constructors Championship points today. But meanwhile, we got Beaker up front, the league racer, 2 seconds up the road. Like I said, I've got a good setup, good pace around here. So let's see if we can make some inroads into the Haas F1 drivers lead. At the moment, looks like we are catching 3/10, 4/10 since the commencement of this lap. And it looks like it is all one-way traffic in this Italian Grand Prix. We've broken 1 second to the AlphaTauri behind. Fastest lap of a 1 minute 20.2. I will absolutely take that. Heading on to the penultimate lap now. We are getting to the point where we're going to be just about within DRS range, but we are running out of laps. Beaker is absolutely pooing himself in this Italian Grand Prix. We do get DRS on that occasion and on the start-finish straight, starting lap 5. We are now in striking distance. But I tell you what, we're running out of time. We are running out of time in this Italian Grand Prix. Need to have a go at him. Running out of fuel. Running out of ERS. Is there anything else I'm running out of? Things to say in this commentary. No, that's fine. We do get DRS on this straight. 4% battery, 3% and falling. But unfortunately, I think we're going to run out of time here unless there is a penalty or a mistake for Beaker heading into this final corner Parabolica. Then it looks like he's going to win the Grand Prix. He's going to win the Grand Prix. I can't believe we've had that much of a shocking start, but we've managed to completely overturn the momentum and nearly win this race. Up to the line, Beaker is weaving. That means he definitely doesn't have a penalty, and it is P2 in this Italian Grand Prix. Frustrating, shocking start. No momentum at the start. However, we turned it all around, and we got some good points, which is all that matters. Unfortunately, my teammate bottling that P5, which he was in early doors. So we'll have to continue to build on this momentum we've got at the moment. Not a bad round. We're only 13 points away. We started off after round 1, 19 points away. We move up to P4 in the Constructors. So, I don't know, if we can continue this kind of streak, then who knows what's possible. Again, my teammate absolutely crapping the bed. P12 down there. We were 4/10 away at Japan in 1-shot. It was an okay lap. It wasn't amazing. I don't think my setup here was great either, so I'm just going to put it down to that. And we're going to go off for the race now to see if we can take the fight to VSR Top Tom and get our first win of the season here. 5 red lights and away we go for the Japanese Grand Prix. Our starts have been getting better race on race. This time we actually do draw level with the race leader, and we're actually going to gain a position off the start here into turn 2. It's still side by side for the two of us. We're going to hold the outside of the left-hander, but in the second part of that little chicane, we take the lead of this Japanese Grand Prix. Hallelujah. We have some track position. Now, let's see what the hell we can do with it. Hopefully my teammate has made a good start. I believe he has. He's somewhere in that little snake of cars in there. I think he might be on the edge of the top 10. We set a fast start at the end of lap 1. That's just... Why did I even say that? Because that's exactly what happens when you're the first car to cross the line at the end of the first lap. Never mind me. We head on to lap 3, and you can see we are trading lap times with the race leader here, Top Tom. He's in my slipstream, and on this lap onwards, he's going to be getting DRS. So what was already a tough challenge trying to keep him behind It's going to get even tougher now because he's going to get the DRS on the start finish straight from next lap onwards. So I'm having to play this a bit tactically, having to be patient, be disciplined, and not expel my overtake and ERS at certain areas of the circuit, like here into 130R. I'm having to be disciplined and just not use it at all. My logic here is if I don't deploy it and he overtakes me, that's okay, because then I'll be behind and I'll get the DRS on the run into turn 1. But thankfully he was nowhere near me there, so I was able to hold on. And now we're going to have to defend this time as we head into turn 1. This is the first time he has DRS, and he does get very close on the run into turn 1. But as long as you hold the inside here, it's very, very hard to overtake around the outside in turns 1 and 2. Daniel Ricciardo put on a bit of a masterclass at this circuit many years ago in the Toro Rosso, showcasing his talent. And it looks like we're just about going to hold on today in this Japanese Grand Prix. We get a nice run out of the spoon curve, which means that we gain momentum versus the Racing Point driver, gaining a couple of tenths out of that straight, which is very odd considering he had slipstream. But there we go. That was the race. Had to be very disciplined, very controlled, very consistent. But we're going to come across the line for our first win of this mini season, and I tell you what, that is going to do the old Constructors bank of points a world of good as we head into the second half, the business end of this season. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this video. I've wanted to do something like this for the longest time, and I think it's quite interesting. My teammate is a bit up and down at the moment. He seems to be getting minor points here or there, which seems to be just about enough at this stage. Looks like we're the one doing the carrying. I thought I was going to get carried in this series by someone, but it turns out that is not the case. 4 points away in the drivers' standings. In the Constructors, we're 9 points away. So that's how things stand at the halfway point. We've got Hungary, Mexico, and Monaco next. And those 3 circuits I feel like I'm actually pretty good at when it comes to online players. We head to Hungary. I got a decent setup here. Recently did this in career mode, so my track knowledge, my affinity with this circuit is still pretty good. So I'm feeling pretty good heading into this one as we get ready to start this race. Second place rather, on the grid. And it is away we go for the second half of the season. Bit of a better start relative to the first couple races. We do lose P2, but hopefully we can hold it as we head into turn 1. Someone's gone absolutely steaming up my inside, barging me out the way as we drop to P3. Unfortunately, this guy is going to get a dive bomb back, but it looks like he really just dive bombed himself into a barrier. So there we go, that is P2. They're taking maybe a bit of karma heading his way. Either way, we've got our starting position back in this race, and now we're going to set our sights after another race win in this series. So let's see if we can get this guy. Doogie Falcons. That's an interesting name. Let's see if he is an interesting driver when it comes to defending the race lead. I feel like I'm always faster in the races. My one-shot qualifying pace isn't great. My starts aren't great, so it often always leaves me on the back foot in these races, but we should get stronger as the race goes on. We're going to get DRS from next lap, so we'll see how that works out for us here as we're putting him under pressure in the middle sector. Despite being in the dirty air here, we're actually managing to get closer and closer to this guy, and it just visibly looks like we got much better front end compared to him in the higher speed stuff. So I definitely rate my chances in this race. We just need to get close, have a nice punchy run out of the final corner, maybe deploy all of the battery, and we might be able to get in this lap. We'll have to wait and see. There won't be DRS on this straight. We're going to have to wait till next lap, essentially, for that to come. So here we go, into overtake. We're pretty darn close, only 2 tenths away into turn 1. This could be a dress rehearsal for later. We go up the inside. A bit of contact made at the apex, but he holds on to the position. So there we go. That is what could be come next lap. We just need to be just as close as we were there. But with the helping hand of DRS, it means we might be in contention heading into the braking zone. So that's essentially what we're aiming for. I do have less ERS this time around, but there should be enough to have a nice little attack on the start finish straight. So this lap is all about getting as close as we can to Dougie. He's getting a little bit flustered, I would say. He's not really shaking us off, so I'd imagine he'd be starting to panic a little bit as we get our first track extending warning of the Grand Prix. It's fine, we have 3 of those to utilize before we get a penalty as we go through the final corner. This is the most important corner of the lap to make sure you nail on the power early, up into overtake. ERS is on overtake and the DRS is open as well. Can we go to the inside at turn 1? Yes, we can. We're a little bit further along this time. Give him a tiny little squeeze, but crucially we actually left him space on the outside if he wanted to hold the move. He didn't. He kind of backed out of it there, and we have the lead of this Hungarian Grand Prix. So there we go. Track position is achieved. Now we just need to hold on to it and make sure we don't get a 3-second time penalty. So here we go, getting a nice run out of the 3rd sector. I put a bit of time between myself and Dougie. The SR Tom is also putting him under pressure, which is certainly helping my aid in winning this race. Gap is 7/10. And now that we've gone through the middle sector and the 3rd sector, that is all the danger averted. We're going to come across the line and win our 2nd race of the season. Another 25 points banked for Mercedes. It is Mercedes OP out here in this weird and wacky 2020 Constructors Championship season. Beaker takes the fastest lap off of the SR Tom, who had the previous fastest lap, so I'm happy he took a point away from him. We shoot into the lead of the drivers' standings. What does this mean for the Constructors? We are only 1 point away. Tasty. Very, very tasty. So what have we got next? We have Mexico? Yes, we do have Mexico, right on cue. This is a track where I feel like not many people have experience at in online. Not many people like going here. They don't like racing here. They might not even do it in career mode. Not many people do career mode, actually, from what I've heard. So we could have an advantage here over some of those around us. We do get 3rd in qualifying. Wasn't my greatest lap in the world, but as always, I think we can move forward in the race. So long as we can keep it clean at turn 1, not get any penalties, not get involved in any shenanigans, then I think we're in for a good race. Away we go for the penultimate race of the season, and we can ill afford any mistakes now that we are in contention for this win. As you can see, moving to the middle part of the racetrack, my teammate is coming up on the left-hand side, so I actually wanted to give him as much space as possible. Heading into turn 1, braking very conservatively into there. Unfortunately, the racing was not so clean down into turns 1 and 2. They got caught up in that Williams there, just turning across. So it's a bit of a racing incident. I wouldn't say it's his fault. Yeah, it's kind of both of us there. And unfortunately, we got some damage. Damage do you have, Ben? Unfortunately, this time I have to say yes. Yellow front wing on the front right. And so we're going to be carrying this all the way through the rest of the Grand Prix. This is damage on full. It's not reduced, it is full. So it's going to make a pretty sizable difference to the performance of the car. And I think moving forward in this race is going to be nigh on impossible unless those in front have penalties or damage themselves. So we just got to truck along, keep fighting, try and hold on to whatever position I get in the race, and then just kind of go from there. I think my goal is really just going to be trying to hold on. As you can see, Chino there having a massive tank slapper through the fast S's in the middle sector. That holds me up a little bit perfectly to the point where his Williams teammate is going to go around the outside of me here into the... Oh no, he's not going to go around the outside of me there because I understeered through there like a bus and nearly put us both in the barrier. I apologize to you, Mr. Swifty behind, but yeah, that's what happens when you push with no front wing, essentially. But we head on to lap 3. We do have the slipstream of Chino ahead, but I think this is a bit of a lost cause. He's weaving all over the place. I don't have DRS on this lap. That'll kick in from next lap. But anyway, I don't have the pace to really run with him, so there's no real point in trying to overtake him. I think that would only cost us further time, and so our focus is just keeping his Williams teammate at bay, who's in P6 at the moment. We head on to the last lap of the race. And we were able to keep it mistake-free. The race kind of leveled out a little bit. Chino is in touching distance of us. We might be able to jump him if he's got a penalty. We'll see as we cross the line on this last lap. It was not, unfortunately, any gains for us. So it's P5. Bit of damage limitation there. I will take it. For this race, I had a new teammate. XXX got kicked from the lobby, apparently. I don't know what he did, but he got kicked. But I'm thankful because my new teammate is actually carrying me now. Lead of the Constructors. We lead by 1 point, heading into the final race of this video. And guess what track we're going to? Think of any track. Any track in the world. It could be any track. It's Monaco. Monaco, of all places. I can't believe it. I'm so angry. Monaco is my worst track ever. I never do well here. I always crash out. I'm such a noob here. So let's see what we can do as we head into qualifying for this finale. Who decides to have a finale at Monaco? Rawaggy does. That's why you should go follow him on Twitch. Link in the description. Anyway, qualifying lap. You can see Casino Square was an absolute mess. I nearly completely threw away the lap from the outset because I nearly cut turn 1. Thankfully, got away with it. Into Casino. No, there's no Casino there. That is a Lowe's hairpin. We get through there. Second gear. Wasn't the greatest rotation in the world. TRL Limitless will be disappointed. Portier, though, and the tunnel section, pretty spot on. I have no complaints there. Heading into the Nouvelle Chicane for the first time of this race. It's not a race. But either way, absolutely shambolic. Rotation there, absolutely dreadful. We need to make up the time for the rest of the lap if we can. This has not been a great lap here in Monaco, but I'll be happy with top 3. Top 3 we could work with, I suppose. We missed the apex at Raskas, and then again for good measure at the final corner. I never hit the apex there. Don't need to, I guess. Up to the line. DRS is open, and we get P2. So despite that disaster of a lap, we will be starting on the front row of the grid for Monaco. I will take that. With all the mistakes, I think we threw away at least a second over the course of that lap. So we've only got 5 laps, but it's very, very hard to overtake here as long as we can keep it clean. Don't lose our front wing. The usual PR nonsense that drivers say heading into race day. All those things can be avoided, then we'll be in the fight. But it all starts with turn 1. Can we survive it? Can we get a good start? We'll have to wait and see. Running high downforce, so overtaking in a straight line may not be a possibility. 5 red lights, and away we go for the finale of this video. Can we win the Constructors' Championships today? We lead by 1 point heading into this race. Turn 1. I put myself in the barrier, and then the AlphaTauri finishes me off. Wonderful scenes here in Monaco. So right from the outset, we are out of contention for the race win. Orange front wing. We'll get a replay of that up in a second. We just need to negotiate these first couple of corners just to have a settler and see how things go. So we slow it down. Initial reaction, pretty good. The launch itself, not great. Wheel spin in 3rd gear. We're up into overtake. The AlphaTauri is boxed in on the inside. We leave him a bit of space. I've actually touched the wall first. No damage there. But then the AlphaTauri just leaves us no space. Crunches us into the wall. Orange front wing. Basically, GG from there. But as we did in the last race in Mexico, we will fight on. We will try and defend our honor here in P2. I actually don't know what happens to the AlphaTauri driver because we're actually fighting them in the Constructors. They are 1 point behind us in the team's championship. But as we head on to the last lap, he's nowhere to be seen. So I guess the question now is the Racing Point driver going to be challenging the Constructors? I know that Racing Point was in 3rd, and this guy was 1 point behind me in the driver's standings heading into this race. So there's lots of question marks that need to be answered in both the drivers and the Constructors. I'm feeling pretty good about the Constructors, but I'm not so sure about the drivers. I think we might be losing this championship. As we come out of the final corner, Safso was closing me in the whole Grand Prix. We just about get away with P2 in this one, but it is a case of what could have been. Those final 2 races, we basically fought on like we had one hand tied behind our back, but I feel like we did pretty well regardless. Driver standings, we lose out to VSR Top Tom, who won the Monaco Grand Prix. The Constructors, though, the aim of the game, we Mercedes win again. Toto Wolff will be smiling. It is Mercedes domination once again. I'm sorry to completely disappoint everyone in this video, because Mercedes win everything IRL. And I got lumped with Mercedes, couldn't go with McLaren unfortunately, and so we continue that run of absolutely boring Mercedes OP once again. But there we go, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new to see plenty more racing game content. Congrats to VSR Top Tom on that one, winning the championship. But I had fun. I definitely want to do something like this in the future. So if that's something you guys want to see, then let me know down in the comments and maybe we can make it our own, do something a little bit different. I'm not too sure, but I definitely had a lot of fun and I look forward to doing this again, potentially in the future. With that said, thank you so much for watching. Until the next one, I'll see you next time. Make sure you subscribe to Raggy.